Welcome back to my project management sandbox. This is Chris and we haven't seen each other for a while. So, to start it off, I would like to introduce a topic about 5 most common downsides of working as a project or program manager. You know, project and program management sounds so much romantic, so you're in tech but you are not coding. But there are definitely some things that are not that much exciting, and if you know them in advance, chances are you will think twice about whether you would want to be a project or program manager or this is something just not for you. Thing number 1 in my list is about planning. Right. Project and program management is all about planning. And if you are a perfectionist or not flexible enough, it's gonna be a true challenge for you when you finally realize that project plans constantly fail. You heard me right. And if you know someone who is saying that I'm a project or a program manager and I do not have any fails behind, this is a bullshit. There are absolutely no projects with no fails at all. And if you hear something like this, someone had projects that have never failed, most likely this experience is not real. And I can explain you why. Simply let's consider what the plan consists of. This is scope of work, budget, timeline, resources, risks, and if something, just a minor detail, changes in any of those aspects, everything goes missing because one change impacts everything else. And that's why planning is something that we are doing constantly in project management. And if this is something that sounds very uncomfortable for you when something changes and you need to replan everything, maybe project management is not for you. Number 2 in my list is accountability. So what I'm talking about, basically this means that you are gonna be accountable for everything that's happening on the project. Projects and programs are delivered by people and for people, so there is absolutely no project that has been delivered by a single person. That's absolutely true. However, project or program manager is a single point of contact for all the key stakeholders. And this means that if someone needs to know some details, or if someone needs an update, or if something goes wrong, you're gonna be the number 1 person to go for. And this means that you need to be aware about everything that's happening on your project, about all the nuances and details, tech or non-tech questions, and this means that you need to be able to offer solutions for any possible issue or challenge that could come up during your work on a project. So accountability is something that you definitely need to be aware of and need to account for. Although you are the single point of contact and you are the accountable person on the projects that you are managing or leading, there are still a lot of other stakeholders, and there are a lot of key stakeholders that are making key decisions. And this leads to the circumstances when you may not have a sufficient level of authority. So what I am talking about is that although you are the point of contact for everybody and you are the one who is suggesting solutions for all the types of issues that may come up on the projects, still you are in many cases not the one who is making decisions or setting priorities on projects, because this is something that are done by sponsors and customers and clients you are working with. And actually this challenge leads to another one when you are dealing with stakeholders who are not properly educated about the delivery processes. And from this perspective, Some processes may sound Greek to them and they would not really understand and realize all the benefits of the implemented processes and will force you to switch them, to flip them, and to lead the project according to the flows that they are comfortable with and they feel they are most appropriate in this current situation. These are cases when they're changing priorities last minute, when, for instance, they're deprioritizing tasks the team is currently working on and forcing the whole team to switch to something else, when there are crunch times because some new features were sold to the end users, when, for instance, deadlines are set without proper understanding of the planning process, or the deadlines are just shifted and you need to handle this in the last minute and realize how can you deliver it the same scope within the tight period of time. So this is something you would most likely gonna be dealing with, and you would need to make some sort of effort in educating your stakeholders, in educating your sponsors in order to get to the same page with them about the delivery process and to streamline it eventually. This is the right moment to pause for a second and to give this video a like. Also, do not forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you are not gonna miss any new videos that are gonna be coming out on my channel moving forward. Not only this will help to promote my video on YouTube, because this is how the YouTube algorithm works. So give it a like and let's move on. Also, another thing that you would need to account for and consider when making a decision whether you would want to be a project or a program manager, and this is dealing with toxic people. Those toxic people may not only be your teammates, this could be your stakeholders, this could be your clients or your managers. So there is a lot of opportunities to meet some certain behaviors and you need to be prepared for that. Take it easy and understand how to deal in different types of situations. This even might be situations when you're dealing with the same people and in one circumstances they're pretty much comfortable colleagues to collaborate with. In other circumstances they may show up with different faces. So some cases you might need to get prepared for is bias, incompetency, laziness, rudeness, uncertainty. So all those types of behaviors may pop up during your work on a project, and this is something you need to get prepared for. Next, we just talked about dealing with different types of people. This leads us to the next challenge, which is juggling multiple stakeholders. Let's just recall what a stakeholder is. So a stakeholder is a person who can impact or who can be impacted by the project. This means that project stakeholders are not just project sponsors or clients. These are people in your team, people in the cross-functional teams that may also just execute some works for your project, or potentially this can even be people who are not directly involved in the project but still they might be impacted by your project, and this means that you still need to consider their needs and their opinions. So this is something you're gonna be facing while working on projects, and you need to get prepared to work with multiple stakeholders, with many people, and to understand all their needs and to understand how all of them can impact the result of your project. Okay, what else do I have in my list? This is a good one. Dealing with constant ambiguity. So what does it mean? For instance, you are getting information about the new project and you have absolutely no idea how are you going to deliver this project. So you need to understand what is the business goals, what problem are you going to solve with your project, and whether the solution is going to be efficient. And eventually you need to understand what are the action items, what are the steps that you need to execute in order to deliver the project through all the stages to production so that it's going to be live. Now, dealing with ambiguity is something constant on all of the projects. And this means that you need to be resourceful in order to find the solutions for issues, challenges, or problems that you're facing throughout your project. And not only this, you need to have multiple solutions so that your key stakeholders would be able to make the informed decision and to pick the best solution that is suitable for the current problem. Now, when it comes to uncertainty, there are also situations when you are in a crunch, and this means that there might be cases when you just need to step in and save the world without having the necessary level of information or necessary specific information in order to make an informed decision. And here comes the reasoning into the game and your awareness about the whole project and all the risks in general. Okay, I hope that was not too much discouraging, and now you're aware about the challenges that are coming together with this new role in your career life. Let me know in comments if you would like me to share how to deal with each of the challenges that I have listed in this episode. Don't forget to give it a like, and see you in the next video.